okay. For those who don't, you should definitely get one today. Meet me at the ENS booth, and I'll help you out with that. And how many of you guys have more than one login across different platforms, like your bank accounts, social media, et cetera, et cetera? Yeah, I do too, pretty much everyone. So basically what I'm trying to do today is convince you that a single login is much more effective and much more useful than various ones, obviously, right? The problem is that for those of you that don't know, there might be a security concern with the P256 precompile. And I'm not going to get into the technical details of that today. I'm just going to try to plant a seed in your head and ask you to consider implementing this in the EVM. If you are a core dev, if you meet up at the ACD calls, please take this into consideration. So let's begin. So the problem is digiphrenia. What is this? This is a term coined by Douglas Rushkoff, and essentially it's the feeling of having your identity fragmented across different platforms. And this kind of leads to a lot of tension, like internal tension, a lot of anxiety, a lot of anger, depression, and you know, this is endemic to our terminally online generation, right? So we really want to find a way how to alleviate it, and I'm personally not of the opinion that we should be taking over, you know, drugs or anything like that to do that. There's a more simple solution, right? Again, when you have your identity fragmented across different platforms, it leads to serotonin and dopamine deficiencies, which leads to all these like really bad things, and you do really bad things once you feel really bad, right? So fragmented identities are bad for your health, and so what can we do about this, right? So what I'm proposing today is an idea, right? A hypothesis for a unified identity framework. And so what this means is to have more sovereignty, more control, and more self-empowerment over your identity online across different platforms. And I'm not just talking about Ethereum, I'm talking about the entire internet, right? And ENS serves as a bridge from Web3 to Web2, but there's a blocker, right? Before we get to that, I just want to reiterate that having a unified identity across different platforms would lessen the tension that we are all experiencing today as a terminally online generation, right? So universal logins with ENS, right? For those of you who are familiar, you probably connect your wallet and have your ENS set up, and you can receive and send payments with your ENS. It makes it super easy, delightful user experience. But I personally would love to, for example, log into my Chase account with an ENS name. I'd love to pay my bills with my ENS name. I'd love to apply to college with my ENS name. I'd love to do everything with my ENS name. And that's not possible today because the P256 precompile is not currently implemented in the EVM. And there was an EIP 7212, that was under consideration that eventually became a roll-up improvement proposal, and that's been implemented across different L2s. But essentially, the path to 1 billion is actually much easier than we are led to believe. It's actually already there. We just need to make this consideration of integrating the P256 precompile into the L1. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Just a seed, something for you guys to think about for the rest of your day. Here are some prompts for the Q&A if you guys want to go ahead and ask. And yeah, that's my talk. Yeah.
Thank you. Questions time. We got a question. First one. Okay. Oh, I'll try. Okay.
Hey, what's your name?
Hey, my name is Lance.
Hey,
I'm
Lance.
building a project called Saray, and we use P256 verification in our project twice, one for WebAuthn and one for TLS Notary.
I love that.
We end up spending 600K gas total on these transactions, and I was wondering, why hasn't P256 has been a precompile since the beginning. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, so that's a great question. So everyone here is familiar with Edward Snowden, and I believe that he's disclosed that there's a potential backdoor risk. It's a pseudo-random curve, right? So the Ethereum L1 is it's a Koblitz curve, so it's deterministically conceived, whereas the P256 is a pseudo-random curve. So there's this concern that there might be a backdoor that the NSA or some other agency might have an ability to take advantage of. So that has not yet been proven, and there is evidence towards it not being a conclusive thing. But I think a lot of people here, I don't mean to offend the audience, but I think you guys might be a little paranoid. Sorry. Yeah.
Next question. Next question. Okay.
We got two here.
I tried.
Hey, what's your name?
Hey, my name's Brian.
Hey, Brian.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
For sure.
Why can't we get the rest of the world to adopt the K curve?
Pardon?
Why can't we get the rest of the world to adopt P256 K1? Like the
Why can't we get the rest of the world to adopt the P256 curve? Or the K curve? Oh,
yeah,
okay, like do it the other way around.
Yes.
Oh, man. So essentially, like every enterprise business has adopted this NIST-approved curve. And, you know, I mean, I guess we can. Like if we all came together and just kind of created a proposal to do that. But I feel like that would be like an uphill battle, in my opinion. But, I mean, feel free to argue against that.
Last question. Guys, let's do this. Last question. Okay, I got a question for you.
Okay, sir.
So I'm from Africa,
Cool.
Ghana, and before L2s, Ethereum was like no-go area for most of us. I'm imagine paying $10 for just a gas fee. What's the future in terms of making it easy for early devs who doesn't have so much to pay on main gas to be able to use this seamlessly?
Do you mind asking your question another way? I didn't.
I mean, how, in terms of future,
Yes.
for emerging market like Africa,
Yes.
for early devs who
Yes.
are not in your level to be able to easily play with this particular technology that you just discussing here?
Are you asking like what would be the advantages of
Yes,
having this
yes.
curve implemented
Yeah.
for emerging markets?
Yes.
I think it's just a universal thing, right? Like, so if we're able to log in to, like, what's your bank account in Ghana? What's the name of your bank account?
Well, I hardly go to bank now. I use crypto. I use
Exactly. Okay. So, like, for example, if like you're able to log in with your ENS to your bank account, it might be more easy to access versus just using crypto.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you. I mean, guys, let's give a hand applause for Marcus.
Thanks.